Retailers and their brand suppliers face a cycle of challenges that occur at retail execution, such as not being able to plan the right silhouettes, colors, and sizes, and not having the right inventory in the right locations. These challenges stem from inefficient data sharing and reporting practices and lead to missed opportunities, markdowns, inventory waste, and ultimately, a lacking consumer experience. Skypad is a self-service reporting platform where retailers and brands can access retail analytics, including product sales and inventory performance, in a consistent format to quickly maximize your business. The Skypad team includes many former users of Skypad, two of which are here with us today. Ali Keach and Kaya Rubenstein were both avid Skypad users in their previous roles at various global luxury companies. As a sales manager and senior account executive, they were responsible for growing businesses with leading retailers. They will take us through their journey of sales and reporting process and how they made the right data-driven decisions using Skypad. Ali and Kaya, we're excited to learn about your experience, so let's get to it. What was your typical reporting process before Skypad?
Before Skypad, on a Monday morning, I'd arrive at my office, sit down at my desk, and then just kind of dive into the reporting process, which usually started with pulling the vendor portal reporting. During that process, I would wait and have all of the kind of emailed reports come into my inbox. So basically, it would just be me reporting as I could, and then doing that across 15 plus retailers. You can imagine the process was pretty lengthy, so I would be done maybe by Tuesday morning. So it was definitely a tedious process because I had to manipulate all the data because it was so different to get it in a place where it could be pulled into my global selling report.
I had a very similar experience to Ali, only the expectation was to have selling sent over by mid-Monday. So not just top line numbers with a comparison to LY reporting, however also style and door detail analysis as well.
Why was the current process a challenge given your timeline?
The selling process definitely felt rushed and didn't allow for thorough analysis. Once it was completed and submitted to leadership, though, you could go back to work on the analysis piece of it, which would be Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. I would create my reorder ATS packages and then send them to buyers, but many times it would just be too late. They had already fueled their trend with other brands' ATS.
So how did you feel the first time you logged into Skypad?
It was definitely relieving. It was nice because I had been doing all of the work myself, so the fact that Skypad aggregated and standardized the data for me, it was a total game changer and overall time saver. So instead of using all of that time to collect and aggregate the data myself, I could use and repurpose that time to strategize and analyze.
Okay, and Kaya, with Skypad, was this timeline doable now with multiple accounts?
It actually really was. It included top line recaps, channel recaps, full price and season recaps, core versus fashion recaps, top 5, bottom 5 recaps for door and style selling. Even when I joined a smaller brand, actually, it was even more essential for me to use Skypad in order for me to run my business.
So you're basically saying, both of you are saying that Skypad is a solution for smaller brands and larger brands.
Yeah, it absolutely was. What's great about Skypad is that there are options, so brands can find their best reporting scenarios within their budget.
Upon joining the company, at what point were you both trained on Skypad?
After meeting with my immediate team, it was the first thing I was trained on. Selling recaps are extremely important to understanding the health of your business, so it makes sense that the selling process was treated as a priority. While selling reporting is a wholesale task, merchandising, planning, and design teams benefit from seeing wholesale performance, so the reporting supported all business units and cross-functional teams.
My company did not provide a formal training, but honestly the expectation was that you knew Skypad application before being hired. The platform was intuitive though, so it was really easy for me to just reach out to the analyst team if I had any questions.
So at the beginning, were you overwhelmed by the amount of information and the different reporting views at your fingertips using Skypad?
It was definitely an improvement from managing the data sources myself, so what I really got back was time. I used that time to analyze and to strategize, and overall the process was just that much faster because of how easy Skypad was to use.
What about you, Kaya?
It's pretty intuitive, and once again, you have the analyst team, so if you have any questions, you just reach out to them. We also had an account manager, so you had multiple people that you could reach out to get the answer you needed.
Okay, so let's take a deeper dive into that. While using Skypad, if you had any questions, you had to pull reporting, or you need to define a certain metric or needed a refresher, what was the process of that?
Really, all you would do was just email the analyst squad. They would work with your team to set up time that worked for you. Some of the portals I had used previously were more kind of auto email specific, which were traffic catchers more than anything else. I'd hear back within 1 to 2 business days, and then at that point, the question may no longer be valid, or I just kind of figured it out myself.
So how often did you both use Skypad?
I use Skypad almost every day, whether it was for in-season initiatives like reorder suggestions or new and comparable style ATS packages or marketing or events. And then really I would use Skypad for market prep.
I mean, it was really great for those special management recaps. Sometimes you'd have to report on 2 to 3 years prior from door, account, category, replan perspective. So those were great to have Skypad for. It was also, to Allie's point, fantastic for market. It provided the best opportunity to strategize the effective change while your retail budget was actually open, making it more realistic time frame to increase the assortment and bookings year over year. It allowed me to honestly find and eliminate any holes in my assortment, find trends such as difference in behavior in different territories, so not an all, one size fits all approach. Show my trend of what is working in my business, what is not, where the opportunities are ultimately allowing me to pivot in our ever-changing environment, and of course do anything else from an analysis perspective that I needed to do for market prep for top-to-top meetings.
So using Skypad, you can really look at your business in one holistic view.
Where I first learned Skypad, my company had the enterprise solution, so I was able to see all retailers within the same app. It was great to have all reporting views available across my retailers, so account recaps were consistent. Consistent formatting was incredibly important for upper management's quick reference. I would imagine when you're looking at handbags, footwear, ready-to-wear, swim, SLGs, and jewelry, it's best to visualize performance across all categories and retailers in the same way. Other team members that kind of benefited too were merchandising and design, so they could really see analytics in real time within our own brand language and not have to decipher between alternate style descriptions and colors.
I completely agree. Before I accessed to Skypad, compiling numbers to get a holistic perspective was very manual and sometimes very difficult. So you'd have to update quite a few Excel files, none of which tied to each other. So you could see a partial picture, but you definitely couldn't see top line information and then very quickly drill down into honestly size detail if you needed it.
Taking a deeper dive into this, the different reporting views, can we talk a bit more about how they were used?
The dashboard was a great visual for a top-line recap. It was super easy to snip on Monday morning and send to management.
Style Detail is a great pre-built report that can easily provide total style selling performance. You can actually also filter for top 10 or bottom 10 across all accounts, along with drill down to a single account.
Kind of the same thing with Door Detail. It's another pre-built report that provides similar functionality as Style, but displays door information, making it super easy to see all door performance, including top and bottom 10, and then same thing, drill down to a single account.
The Geo tab allows you to understand where the volume of your sales are coming from a visual perspective for regions, state, city, and any other custom area. End use is perfect for planning store visits, tracking DSA investment, reviewing competitive doors, or account performance in locations.
Okay, and I also know there's a trending feature as well as an ad hoc feature.
The trending tab serves to help create and strategize around a replenishment program or exclusive capsule proposal. It's amazing for time over time comparison across division, category, or account reporting.
The ad hoc tab is used for general strategy or creative thought. It is an all-purpose tab that allows you to complete custom reports. Sky's really the limit with this tab.
So how else can brands leverage Skypad from an industry perspective to further benefit their business?
Given the environmental responsibility is top of mind in fashion industries and the brands being held accountable for their carbon footprint, Skypad is essential.
Speaking from my own experience, Skypad shares visibility into key top line to granular insights without ever needing to print or paper. Really kind of understanding what your best sellers are and worst sellers are. You can make sure that you're minimizing development into those unproductive styles. Knowing top doors at the beginning of the season allows the wholesale team to be proactive in targeting successful stores, which reduces shipments to underperforming locations, ultimately saving fuel and lowering emissions. This reduces the need for in-season swaps.
Just adding on to what Allie said, using productivity matrix helps to reduce the need for RTVs, which leads to reducing packages, shipments, and necessary manpower.
Ultimately, understanding full price sell-through minimizes damaged or unsellable goods, which must be destroyed and then therefore create waste.
Okay, so we're going to shift gears a bit and we're going to talk about the pandemic. That's something we haven't touched base on yet. As we know, the pandemic has had a large impact on the retail landscape. How has Skypad supported that?
It was definitely unfortunate that many retailers and brands were forced to reduce their teams. Teams found it critical to continue using Skypad as a consistent and reliable data source. You really had no idea what stores were open and what were closed without visibility into your selling. Obviously, a closed store makes it hard to sell and maximize your business. So Skypad developed a program that offered that visibility.
Skypad actually called it Open Sesame. It was almost like a live map that allowed store closures and targeted reopen dates. This was a huge thing when things were so unpredictable and provided a sense of consistency, which was comforting. The great thing was that this program was completely complimentary to anyone in the industry, regardless of subscription.
We've talked a lot about Skypad. We've talked a lot about the features, the best reporting practices. I'm going to put you on the spot, and we're actually going to show how some of these reporting features work.
So this is the Geo tab. This is the report that shows you where your sales and inventory are on a map. Each green icon represents a store, which is your stockist. And then if you switch to stockist by sales volume, you'll be able to see a more kind of heat map approach. So once you zoom in, you can get a sense of the darker the green, the better the sales. From here, you'll use the lasso tool, which will allow you to zoom in on a certain region. Any of the selections you've made will be blown up, and now you'll see that 24 of 551 stores are showing in your current selections box. Now you can see the different stores within a certain region, and theoretically, sales trend should be similar in the same region. So from here, you can go to the ad hoc tab. From there, you want to understand the successes and opportunities within those doors. So what you would do is build out the styles that are driving that success. So you would include your style number, your description, your color in the dimensions field. We'll keep last week because that's what we're interested in looking at. Then I'll select for metrics, sales units, sales dollars, on-hand units, and on-hand dollars. So you've built a very basic report here. From there, you can just do a quick double click. So see that upside down triangle and double click again. So now we're kind of sorted top to bottom. Then you'll be able to understand bestsellers. So your Nancy Mid in nude, Nancy Mid in black. From here, you'll understand that in all of these 24 doors, these are your top styles. So in the top 5, these are what you want to protect and distribute where possible. So here you can go into your store description. Now you can see what all the store names are. So from there, you can really dive in, look into your ATS that's sitting in your warehouse. So you're fueling bestseller trend and you're leveraging ATS that's just sitting in your warehouse. So ultimately, it's a win-win.
Thank you so much, ladies. It was great hearing about your journeys of learning how to use Skypad and then, of course, now joining the Skypad team. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you for having us.